Today on Q&J, no, I have not seen the movie Frozen yet. Some people just can't let it go. Yes, I just went there.
Q and J.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Q&J. This is the first one of the new year, so welcome to the new year. It is the end of January, and it's time to do another Q&J. I should have done one a couple weeks ago, but unfortunately I was working on the Friday, and I just couldn't get the time in. But it's okay, we're doing it today. And we're gonna, as you see, it's back on track. Like, it's going to be every other week or monthly, and it's going to be good. So, there were a bunch of comments left after last week's video, so I'll be talking about them in this week's Q&J, of course. And yeah. So the first comment was left by CMD the Dark Guard. It says, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you too. Die Hard, of course, is a Christmas movie. I was talking about the last one, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Most people said yes. Unfortunately, since then, of course, rest in peace, Mr. Alan Rickman. That was quite unfortunate. So many people have died in January. It's kind of like George R.R. Martin is writing the year. But we just can't not watch it when it's on. True. As for 40K, it's a shame. It's disappeared from my local club. We have a large club, but I haven't seen any game of 40K in a while, but most have moved on to Dust. Another tabletop game, which is extremely popular here. Do you feel that 40K is just too old rules-wise? No. They've kind of... it's taken a really big change over the last 4 years. It's an old game, though. But they do change the rules frequently, and the codices very frequently, it appears. Yeah. It hasn't really had a good update to get its modern... To get it modern? It's an old system, and for quite a few things it doesn't work. What would you do to change the rules, like making it more realistic, etc.? I don't know. I do find 7th edition to be pretty good. To make it more... I'd say popular, I'd bring it closer back to the 5th edition rules to make it more balanced towards the assault phase. That way, because that was the time in which it was the most, I think that was the most popular phase of 40K was 5th edition. And it was by far the most popular tournament phase. Other things, you could always bring in cool new models, cool new characters, to make it more realistic. I don't know about realism, because it is very cinematic the way that it currently works. You remove models from the closest. The closest model always removed first because they're the ones most likely shot. I don't know. It's a good question. What else could you do to make it more modern? I'd say it is. I'd argue it is relatively modern. Make it more available for small scale games. Like create a new. I'd go back to Kill Team, or Combat Patrol, and maybe improve the rules there to make it more fun at a small scale, and that will help get more people back into it. But small scale battles to me would be the most realistic and modern technically, because that would be the majority of the 40K battles would be small scale. It wouldn't be all these giant, overall crazy battles. It'd be a lot of small scale stuff throughout the day, right? If you look at the fluff, obviously the big battles are the ones hyped, but it's tons of little battles which actually make up the history. So Ryan Commons is not sure if it's a rules issue. I think it's more of the style of hobby where 40K flourishes, more where people like to convert and paint and are less focused on competitive play, like in Warhammer Hordes and most of the other games. That I can kind of see, I can very much see your point. That was from Ryan Campman. That's what I do feel is that the great thing about 40K, it's one of the few games that you can really customize your models, and it's a lot of fun to paint. Not saying the other games aren't fun to paint, but you do find that like War Machine and Hordes are basically, in North America, they're basically the number 2 game, right? 40K, then War Machine and Hordes, or maybe X-Wing. But War Machine and Hordes, you go to a tournament for War Machine and Hordes, they're just models that are assembled, and most of the time they're not even primed. They're very much into the competitiveness, but not the hobby aspect. Yeah, I don't know. So then next, Ryan Campman's comment says, Happy New Year, Jay. Love the positive attitude in your vids. Keep them coming. Thank you very much, and I will definitely keep them coming. It's going to be a busy year, but it's going to be a busy year of hard work, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. It's been a good year so far. I've had a couple battle reports out already this month, and I think it's going to be a good year, and especially There are good things to come. Yes, good things to come. Impulse, the Army Painter Quick Shades. Oh, the dips. That's what you're referring to in the previous video. Sorry, I misread you. I thought you meant, because they actually do have a line of washes. But you're talking about the dips. Yes, they're heavily glossy. Because they are varnished as well. The actual washes are matte. There you go. Thank you very much for clarifying your point on the previous one. But yes, the Army Painter Quick Shades are really nice, but they're extremely glossy. So what I do is, after using them, I always hit it with the finish that I want on the model, usually a matte. I have no idea what just happened on my phone. I'm going to close that. So, yeah. That was kind of funny. Yes, so that's the point. I usually hit him with a satin varnish or a matte varnish afterwards. That way it really does, it sucks up all the glossiness and brings it back to a more realistic tone. I kept it for my Necrons, though. Dr. Octopus. Hey, how's it going, Dr. Octopus? An Orc Mega Dread versus a Contemptor Dreadnought. Who wins? And why? And why is it the Contemptor? No bias here. I guess it depends on what the Contemptor Dreadnought was armed with. But I'd actually might say the Orc Mega Dread. The problem is the Contemptor Dread would go first. All right, the question is this in a fight? Or is this in the game? Because in the game, I would vote on the Contemptor Dread because he gets to go first. And if the Contemptor Dread goes first, he'll probably wreck the Mega Dread, though it does have a 5-up invulnerable save. Yeah. In a real life, you never know. Contemptor Dreadnoughts are old school. That's pretty cool. They're pretty tough. But Mega Dreads, pretty tough too. I don't know. I'd have to bet on the Mega Dread, I think. In a game, definitely the Contemptor Dreadnought goes first. Would wreck the Mega Dread. But in real life, I'm going to bet on the Mega Dread. Just because I got to back the Orcs. If I didn't, I would lose a chunk of myself. And I could not... I have to go with the Orcs. I have to. I'm sorry, Dr. Octopus. Christopher Tucker. Hey, Chris Tucker. Hi, Jay. What's the best Army bundle from GW that came out in January? Happy New Year to you, my wife, and the wife and the dogs. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you too, Chris Tucker. To me, the two best bundles, if you were talking about 40K, I would argue Tau or Skitarii. The reason being is dollar value is insane on both of them. Like for the Tau, like for the Skitarii one, I got it from my local store where I go to J&J's. I got it for $80, and the Dune Crawler alone from GW was like $82. So I saved $2, got the Dune Crawler, a free squad of Rangers, and the HQ that I'm going to use for my Cult Mechanicus army. The other one I'd say, the reason why I might say Tau over the Skitarii one is because the Tau one, the Tau one's all for one army, right? And once again, for $100 from GW, like I got 80 at my J&J store, you got an Ethereal, you got the Battle Crisis suits alone were worth almost $100, and then a squad of Tau Fire Warriors. So it's a huge value, and Tau's a really strong army, and you'd use pretty much all those models in a competitive list. So I would say those ones. The Space Marine one wasn't very amazing to me because most people already had it. Same with Necrons. You know, if you're going to start a Necron army, great. You know, you got some warriors, an HQ, an Overlord, some Scarab Swarms, and a, what's it called? Triarch Stalker. The only downside, though, is if you're playing them outside the formation, it's a little annoying because you want to take the Decurion detachment. You got, that's three different formations worth of models that you have to add things to get it. So that's why it was kind of annoying. Same with the Astromel Terran, wasn't that impressed. Demons, I really wasn't that impressed. But yeah, I'd say Tau or Skitarii. Probably Tau the most because it's all the same codex versus Skitarii, where outside that formation you couldn't use the priest, the tech priest, right? So you have to bring him to Cult Mechanicus. But the value on both of them is amazing. Now, if you're talking about Age of Sigmar, for me, by far my favorite was the Seraphim. I keep calling them, you know, the old name, but Seraphim alone, because that one giant dude, what was he called? What's his name? The Carnosaur. The Carnosaur alone is worth basically the same as the box, and then you also get a bunch of other guys. So to me, the Seraphon box was just amazing. But yeah, they're great values, and I'm really hoping it gets people back into the hobby. More new armies, people are playing, you know, that's great stuff. For me, I bought 2 boxes for the Skitarii, since I will be building a Skitarii and Cult Mechanicus army in the near future. So I thought, Skitarii, good. Leaders for the Cult Mechanicus, good. Everyone wins. Isaac Evans. How's it going, Isaac? You mentioned Airbrushing 101. Is that a Warp series? Yes, it is in the Warp. Airbrush 101 is a specific to the Warp series. The Warp, my premium channel, link in the description below, but it has more of a painting aspect than my free channel. My free channel does get Miniature Painting 101 and the occasional painting tutorial. My channel, the Warp, is actually predominantly painting, which is what makes it kind of special, because it has battle reports as well and face-off episodes as well. I try to put in some gaming aspects as well as a Q&J for its own. But you get a 6-month preview of Miniature Painting 101. You get a weekly painting tutorial, and right now there's like almost 100. I think we're in the 90s. It's pretty crazy painting tutorial-wise. And then Airbrush 101 and yeah. So and eventually it'll be Basing 101. So good stuff there, but it is in the Warp. Siamali says, Jay, could you do a how to paint video on how to paint a marble? I'm starting Tomb Kings and have searched all of Google with no luck. Yes, it will be. I'm going to be doing marble within the next month for Miniature Painting 101. That means, unfortunately, it will take like 6 months to get free. So what I recommend is, if you're not a Warp subscriber, keep an eye on the Warp. If you're not interested in subscribing to Warp, it's okay. But if you're thinking about it, what I'd recommend is wait until Marble appears in Miniature Painting 101, which you'll be able to see by you can keep track of the Warp. You just can't watch the videos. And if you see Marble appear, do a 14-day free subscription, and then you can watch it and watch the other Miniature Painting 101 episodes. And then if you don't want to stay in the Warp, no problem. But I'll be doing Marble as well. Marble's challenging, and I'm working on it right now. I want to make sure that when I do it right. And it's a really challenging topic. But yes, I will do it for sure. Black Tom. Hey, Black Tom. Hey, Jay. I have a buddy that was thinking of making a Space Sharks. Cool. Marine Army. Cool. But is unsure what codex to use for them. I was thinking Dark Angels, but I found that he has the 6th edition codex and not the 7th. I own the Vanilla Marine 7th edition codex, but I don't own the other ones, so I'm unsure what to recommend. I would go vanilla, because vanilla, for a variety of reasons, definitely vanilla over Dark Angels, because vanilla, you get access to all the factions, and then you could basically choose what faction. What I would recommend doing is going to the vanilla codex, and the problem is I don't know what theme behind the Space Sharks. Does he want to be a really aggressive assault army, really mech based? What kind of feeling does he want for this army? And what I'd recommend doing is opening up the 7th edition codex, seeing what faction of Space Marines within the codex which would be more suited to what he wants to match up for the Space Sharks. And then I would choose those rules accordingly, right? You can say they're a successor chapter to Imperial Fists, to Iron Hands, and then you can easily have some fun. That's what I'd recommend, because the vanilla you get a lot more variety. Now, and on top of that, vanilla is better, in my opinion, than Dark Angels, other than the double jink for the bikers, which I don't see. If it's a shark army, maybe he wants all bikes, but the White Scars are really competitive for bikes as well. So I'd say vanilla 7th edition is what I'd recommend. So he wants to know, my friend doesn't have time to play, but he enjoys collecting and building the armies. So he wants to know what to buy before spending money on it. He is a Blood Angels player first and foremost, but since they are so lacking, he is looking elsewhere and are just not using them as just using them as allies. So it's kind of eliminates the codex. Yeah. I know the Space Sharks are really aggressive and enjoy melee. Okay. So then you may want to go Raven Guard. Could be White Scars. Yeah, I wouldn't say Dark Angels. I wouldn't say Dark Angels. The most aggressive one would be Blood Angels, but you don't want to go Blood Angel successor because he doesn't like Blood Angels. I would say maybe like Raven Guard would be really good. Could be White Scars. Could be, because White Scars, her whole army would get Scout. That'd be pretty aggressive. But I am half tempted to suggest a 30k heresy list instead of a 7th edition codex. That could be possible too. So you could do that very much as well. Especially since you probably never play an attorney. Any 30k lists you might suggest. I don't unfortunately know 30k very well. I will be getting into it shortly. I was thinking World Eaters or Sons of Horus for 30k. I have heard they're very aggressive. Maybe Space Wolves, Vanilla, or Dark Angels for 40k lists. Have a good one. See you in a few months at Adepticon. Yeah, I'll see you at Adepticon. It'll be great to see you again. I'll definitely know what you look like this time. But yeah, as I said, for 40k, I recommend Vanilla over Dark Angels. They're not aggressive. I would say, yeah, I'd say like White Scars or Raven Guard kind of thing, depending on what we want to do. DZ Saber says, yeah, my wife and oldest son think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I enjoy teasing them about it. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. DZ Saber. Jay, what video camera do you use for your videos? I use a Canon Vixia HF R300. It is like a I bought it for $300 years ago. It is a 720p camera, and it has a microphone input. That's what I use. And that's what Mini Wargaming actually used to use before they went like extreme high-end $2,000 Canon cameras that film in 1080. So it's actually quite good. I've never had a problem with it. I don't think anybody's noticed the difference in quality filming, because 720p is basically what you need. Like battle reports, you really don't need the extra detail to go 1080. But that's what I use. I am shopping around for my first and one to make a good purchase so I can start producing videos for my channel. Yes. So what I recommend is definitely you got to get one that goes HD. So a minimum 720. Minimum. If you can go 1080, awesome. Microphone input if you're thinking about it. That's another big one. I do have microphone input on this one, and if you're thinking of using a lapel mic like Mini Wargaming uses, you definitely want a microphone input on your camera. Besides that, obviously, most high-end cameras these days have autofocus or manual focus, depending on what type of videos you want to make, battle reports versus painting tutorial type things. For painting tutorials, I typically use a manual focus. For battle reports, I use an autofocus. But that's it. I use a Canon Vixia HF-R300. There's an equivalent camera out there right now. It doesn't have, what I'd also recommend is, because prices of cameras have dropped so much since I purchased this one, get one with an internal memory. Because I've had a few times where a card malfunctions on me, where I'm out in public, or when I'm visiting someone and I lose all the footage, versus one that has internal memory, you can back it up and use that one first. So, or in the incident that your card malfunctions, you have an internal memory. The one I currently use doesn't, and that's what I'd probably recommend purchasing if I got a new camera. Master Dwaylen, how's it going, Master Dwaylen? Hi, Jake. If double ones with D6s are the JIs, and then there are 3 ones. Then the 3 ones are Nergal eyes. Happy painting. Yes, I'd say so. Nergal eyes. Or Nergal J eyes. Crazy Nergal eyes. Stupid Nergal eyes. Triple ones. That'd be awesome. Very good point, though, Master Dwaylen. Daniel Jefferson says, thanks, Jay, as always. With rumor of the new Tyranid Codex, what type of formation would you like to see? I would like to see based on the type. Like, I'd like to see a fast formation where it's like all flying things. That'd be really fun to see Flyrants in with gargoyles, in with shrikes. Would be really cool. I would like to see shooting one. One that denies cover, or one that gives cover, or a very good idea of cover. Like a Venom Thrope formation would be really cool. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see. A formation that it would be cool to bring back the super days of the Turvagon and have like a Turvagon with Gaunt formation as well. Good stuff there. I would like to see something with the Hive Guard, like +1 ballistic skill. Yeah, because Hive Guard should have ballistic skill 4. They used to have ballistic skill 4. They dropped them to 3 with the latest codex. The 6th edition codex actually had the 5th edition codex actually had ballistic skill 4. And then they wanted to line up the Hive Guard with the Tyrant Guard for no reason. It didn't make any sense. And maybe penetrating hits if 3 models in this formation hit a vehicle, for example. That'd be great. And they already deny cover, so that's sweet. Next one. I don't know what you said, Arnice. I'm not even going to try. But the last word is nyar. Yeah, nyar. I'm not trying. Your Icelandic tone is breaking my brain. I don't know what that symbol even does. I got to bone up on my Icelandic. Greetings from a fellow wargamer in Iceland. Old Space Wolves player, 2nd and 3rd edition, a bit of 4th, but got derailed after that. My brother collected the orcs, and we had a great, big, gory rivalry going on back in the day. He stopped wargaming, but I've been rekindling it for the past few years, digging the beard, by the way. Thank you. I'll keep it for a while. Have some fun. Your painting videos are good to look at, as I've been doing some painting again after many years back, doing a bit of Warhammer 40k, making a new Space Wolves Marine army out of the old leftovers of my old Space Wolf army. I like the customizing things. That's great. Flames of War, and I'm going to do some Star Wars Armada. Excellent. Good stuff there. Master Wayland. Iceland is the most awesome country on Earth. Is the hobby popular there? And then Arnice says, thanks. Hee hee. I'd say it's reasonably popular. Me and my brothers grew up playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle and 40k. Also a bit of Battletech, the card game, and other things. We mainly just one hobby shop which sells tabletop wargaming items, but there's an avid Flames of War group, X-Wing and Armada, has been gaining steam. Plus people who not so much into playing Warhammer 40k or such are falling into temptation and end up buying a nice looking GW model. Excellent. That's great stuff to hear. Very good stuff to hear. You know, it's good to hear that people are getting into the hobby. And I know that 40k is losing steam elsewhere, but it's gaining steam elsewhere as well. Like, I'm by no means saying that it's in the most popular state, but it's nowhere near Fantasy was. You know, like, Fantasy was dying when they brought back the End of Times. And the End of Times actually kind of resurrected the game. Before then, they brought in Age of Sigmar. But Age of Sigmar, I've heard good things. I will eventually be starting an army. I'm debating right now. Seriously, people, when I finish painting all my models, which will happen this year, I'm debating, and the new Start Collecting boxes are looking really tempting. I'm thinking Seraphs, or maybe if they come out with the new ones for the dwarves, which I forget what they're called now, the fire dudes. But the dwarves look really cool too. So maybe this year will be the year of AOS in the end. It'll be really cool. Yeah. Jesper Larson says, hi Jay, what do you use to make lists? I use Army Builder. Army Builder is a really nice software. Now, it does cost money per year. It's a subscription model, but it has list building capabilities for like 8 other games as well that I use. You know, it has it for War Machine and Hordes. It has it for Fantasy. It has it for, let's see. It's by a company called Lone Wolf Studios. And right now it has Hordes. These are the ones I currently have on my thing. There's more games out there that you can use. I don't load them. Right now I have X-Wing, War Machine, Hordes, Warhammer Fantasy, and 40k on this. So all those games you can build a list for. And it's actually quite nice, has the rules. Now obviously there are some errors and it takes like a couple weeks to catch up whenever new rules come out. But it's a great system. It keeps track of all the rules and lets you build really easily. But it is a subscription model. I think it's $40 a year. But I use it all the time because I build lists all the time for my battle reports. But it's definitely what I use and I love it. It's my favorite software to use for building lists. Pen and paper, enhance a codex, quartermasters, or I use as I said, I use Army Builder. The other software that's free is called Battle Scribe, and Battle Scribe I've used a couple times. I don't find it to be as user friendly as Army Builder, but it's also pretty good and it's free. So if you want, you should go check out Battle Scribe as well. Can you recommend anyone? I need help making an epic freehand banner for my Steel Legion regime command group. Freehand. To be fair, I'd have to go say, out of all the freehand tutorials out there, the majority of them are, I've done some, but nothing for like freehand, epic banner stuff. Chris at Mini Wargaming in the Vault has done several freehand stuff. Not a lot of freehand icon on banners kind of things, but yeah, he's done a bunch. So I'd probably recommend checking out Chris, or talk to Chris during his live show. I think, I could be wrong, but Jesper Larson, don't you watch Way of the Brush? I could have sworn I've seen you on Way of the Brush. And if you're on Way of the Brush, talk to Chris during his live show, and he could definitely make a Vault video for it as well. But that's what I'd recommend. Chris does a lot of the freehand stuff. Out of all the tutorial people on YouTube, he's the one who comes to mind the most. He doesn't do a lot of YouTube, actually. It's mostly the Vault. But I do some freehand, but I'm not anywhere near the the amount of videos that he's done on freehand. Lester Bursley really doesn't do a lot of freehand. Neither does he's awesome paint job. By Painted doesn't. He's mostly airbrush. Maybe Painting Buddha. He's done some. They've done some. There's not a lot at the moment. I'd recommend talking to Chris. Yeah, and that's it. Those are all the comments. Wasn't a very long video, 25 minutes, but it's okay. It's okay. By doing it less, by doing it more frequently, we're gonna get less comments because it has less time to build up. It's only been 3 weeks since the last one, but it's okay. So now people, welcome. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. It's okay. That's the end of this week's Q&J. Please leave more comments and questions in the questions section down below, and I'll do my best to make sure I answer all of them in a couple weeks at the next episode of Q&J. And yeah, so thank you so much everyone for subscribing to my videos, for watching the videos, for leaving questions and being part of the discussion. It means so much, and I really hope you are also enjoying my live shows. I've been doing live shows lately, ever frequently, and people are joining in and having a good time too, so definitely go check those out as well. So thank you as always for watching. Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.